Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from, and welcome to my channel. In case you're new, my name is Belinda Melvin, and this is the Health Convo. Today, I'm coming back to you with quite an interesting topic on matters malnutrition. Do you know what malnutrition is? What are the causes of malnutrition? What are the types? Well, worry no more, because with me I have a special guest. She is a nutritionist and she's going to take us through what malnutrition is. So stay tuned. Let us know what you think about this particular topic. Would you love to see more of these? Kindly let me know in the comment section which kind of topics concerning matters health would you like seeing me do them with different various medical practitioners on this platform. Okay, I was informing my audience earlier that you're going to discuss about malnutrition, but maybe before we dive into the topic, for the benefits of those who don't know you and they're watching you for the first time, they don't know who Linda is. So, introducing yourself to my audience.
Good afternoon. My name is Linda Nelima. I'm a nutritionist in Bungoma County Referral Hospital. Currently, I'm in the medical ward, but I want to talk about malnutrition because I've been in the pediatrics ward. At least I've tackled malnutrition.
Okay, let's dive into the we're discussing. So, what is malnutrition? And is it a serious condition? Is it something that someone should be worried about?
Malnutrition is a state where the body does not have the required nutrients, that is under nutrition, and it can be serious when it has not been treated. But when treated, it becomes normal.
So, would you take us through the types of malnutrition?
There is acute malnutrition, which is categorized by moderate acute malnutrition, and there is a chronic malnutrition, which is severe acute malnutrition, which is there is marasmus, which is categorized under severe acute malnutrition, and there is kwashiorkor and marasmic kwash, the combination of marasmus and kwashiorkor.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I'd like to take you through the statistics. In 2020, the statistics from 2017 to 2020 says
Mm.
1.82 million children, which is equivalent to 26%, were suffering from malnutrition. That is according to Kenya National Bureau of Statistics,
Yes.
2017 to 2020. So, what are the causes of malnutrition?
There are immediate causes and there are underlying causes. The
Okay.
immediate causes can be inadequate food intake and diseases.
Okay.
Underlying causes can be food insecurity,
Mm-hmm.
health, there is knowledge gap, there is knowledge gap, and maybe household income.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a person is not having enough cash to provide for the family. Those are the causes.
Causes. Yeah, now when you talk about the causes, you mentioned something to deal with food insecurity. How
Yes.
does it contribute to one being malnourished?
Food insecurity is the availability of food in the household. You find out that maybe these cases of poverty, maybe someone is not able to afford to sustain the family. So most of the time, you find they dwell on one type of food. And malnutrition, as I said earlier, it's a state where the body does not have the required nutrients. So you find they only dwell on one type of nutrient, which leads to malnutrition.
So can you take us through now the types of nutrients that you're talking about? Because someone might be asking him or herself, we're talking about the nutrients. What kind of nutrients are we talking about?
Uh, you see, the nutrients that I'm talking about, like we have the carbohydrates, which helps us to give the body energy. We have the proteins, which are the body building. We have the vitamins, which helps to boost immunity, and we have the fats and minerals. All those all those nutrients are required so that the body can work well.
Okay. So you can also give us the examples because I know people hear of carbohydrates, but we can't dismiss the fact that not many people because they've taught something to deal with lack of knowledge. So not all people understand what carbohydrates is. Maybe you tell us what the source of carbohydrates that we need and how does it benefit the child so that the child doesn't end up being malnourished. Sorry.
For the carbohydrates, we have like the normal maize, which we can get maize flour from maize. We have the chapatis. We have the Irish potatoes. We have we have Irish potatoes. We have sweet potatoes. And when the baby starts growing,
It's
when
a
the baby starts growing, we always advise on the readily available carbohydrates such as the Irish potatoes, so that it can help the baby to boost on the energy levels, and also there's vitamins which comes from fruits and vegetables, and we have the proteins which come from the all animal proteins like meat, fish, chicken, omena, and there are also the plant proteins which comes from the uh, beans and lentils. All those, all that combination give you a proper balanced diet. So for proper growth and development, a child needs a well balanced diet which comes from carbohydrates, proteins, and vitamins, like for
okay.
the proper growth and development of a child. So
Uh,
when advising a mother who has started complementary feeding, we will advise her to start on the readily available nutrients, readily available foods, which gives a combination of the carbohydrates, the vitamins, and protein, so that the child can grow well.
okay. Linda, I understand from where we come from. When mothers have their babies, especially from where we come from in Western, you'll see like we don't like put into consideration the guidelines given during the clinicians. So you'll find like maybe I have my child already, and then maybe I'll breastfeed him continuously for like a week. The second week I'll introduce porridge, and then we go ahead, and then I add something else. So what would you advise, or what would be your advice to any mom out there, especially when she thinks of introducing something new to the kid?
Okay, for the working mothers, maybe those that want to start complementary feeding because of their work. always advise on the first days when the supply of milk is still a lot, you can express and store the milk. If that is you have a refrigerator, you can store the milk because that milk can stay up to a maximum of 1 year when it's stored in a refrigerator. But
Yeah, I didn't know.
for those
I didn't.
for those for those that don't have a refrigerator, you can still express it, and it can stay for a maximum of at least 8 hours before it becomes stale. But it's advisable to breastfeed a child for the first 6 months because the breast milk has good benefits to the child. First, the first that breastfeeding bonds you and the baby, and another thing, it helps in good growth and development of that child. And then the milk, that milk is readily available, so you don't need so much expense in buying the milk. And it also helps in that first milk has colostrum, and colostrum, the colostrum is produced in the first 3 days, and colostrum has antibodies which help the baby to boost the immunity of the baby. So it's just advisable to breastfeed the baby before starting the complementary feeding, because when you start introducing these other foods to the child, you weaken the GI system of the child, and that is the introduction of infections to the child. So it's good to just breastfeed. Even if you have some work, you can still wake up early, express, and you can leave the caretaker to give the child your own expressed breast milk. Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. So, I'm a mother. How will I be able to tell that my child is suffering from malnutrition? What are some of the symptoms that
The
might
signs and
inform
symptoms.
the
The,
symptoms? Uh-huh.
as I said earlier, uh, malnutrition, there is chronic malnutrition, which comprises of marasmus, kwashiorkor, and combination of the both marasmus and kwashiorkor. So for marasmic child, you'll find the child is wasted, the child has prominent ribs, the hair is just normal for a marasmic child. There's no change of hair color. Uh, a marasmic child does not have edema, and a marasmic child has their hair is just normal. There's no change of hair color. The child are always rested. There is prominent rib, and then the Marathi child they always have good appetite. And for Kwashiorkor, you'll note the child bilateral pink edema. Both limbs are swollen and very tiny. Sometimes there can be body edema with the back of the face, the arms, and the legs. They see the rare color. Their hair is very yellowish or brownish, and then the Kwashiorkor child has loss of appetite, and they are very irritable and lethargic. Those
Okay.
are the signs.
The signs and the symptoms.
Yes.
So if I say that one, it is something that I should be worried about, right?
Yeah, if you see those signs, yeah, you have to take the child to for proper care at the hospital.
Three. So,
Okay, we are in step 3 to treat and prevent dehydration, which we always use resomol. So resomol we always give for the first hours we give 10 mils per kg,
mm-hmm.
and then for step 4 is to electrolyte imbalance. We correct electrolyte imbalance,
Okay.
and step 5 is to check for infection. Step 6,
Mm-hmm.
micronutrient. We correct micronutrient deficiencies. And step 7, now we start cautious feeding. Now that's where we come up with there is these therapeutic feeds, F75 and F100. So we always start with for severe cases we start with F75 for about 3 days, and then we graduate to F100.
Mm-hmm.
So that F100 comes to step 8 where we catch up growth, because when we are in F75 there we don't the child does not gain weight, because the F75 it's only 75 kilocalories in 100 meals. So in F75 we don't expect a child to gain weight. So after that we go to cautious feeding where we give F100, where we expect a child now to start gaining weight, because F100 is a supplemental feed which we give we can give to up to 7 days, but uh, we always alternate it with ready to use therapeutic feed, the RETF, which is also a supplemental feed for cautious feeding.
Okay.
So from that, there is sensory stimulation, where we encourage the mother and advise the mother how to take good care of this child, and to encourage her that this child will 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 continue will pick up as it gets the foods well and the correct nutrients as advised. And then after that we follow up. Now the 10th step, we follow up. Now we always give a TCA of 2 weeks. When they go home they come back after 2 weeks for follow up, so that they don't go back to the state they were.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. There's something that I had forgotten to ask.
Yes.
So, malnutrition.
Yes.
Who are most affected? Who are most affected? And then also to add whatever that you've said, mothers. We are talking about mothers. Is it the responsibility of the mom alone to ensure that the kid is okay, or both parents should be involved in that?
Because the mother is the yeye ndio analisha mtoto, yeye ndio anashinda na mtoto the whole time. So I think the mother is the one who is supposed to be advised more, because they are not the fathers you can advise both parents, but the mother is the more, nitasema aje, yeye ndiye anatakikana sana kuelimishwa zaidi juu yeye ndiye anakaa na mtoto.
Okay, point home, eh?
Mm.
Okay. Is there something that you wanted to mention and you have not touched on?
I think I've tackled all the things. Uh,
Yeah, so
uh, yes.
what will be your parting shot on matters malnutrition to mothers, to people watching you out there?
Okay, I like to encourage the mothers to you can do some kitchen garden. At least you plant a little of crops around your home, so that your children will not be susceptible to malnutrition. You know, malnutrition is a common disease, but people out here are very ignorant about malnutrition. So you might think you are feeding your child right, but there's something missing. Huh? Until you're advised, that's when you get to know that you're not doing it right. So at least when you're advised, try to follow the guidelines so that your children will not end up in the malnutrition wards. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, Linda.
Yes.
I do appreciate you spending your time despite the busy schedule coming to our audience. I believe it will impact someone out there. So that has been Linda. This has been the Health Convo, and I've been your host, Belinda Melvin. Let us know if you found this video interesting. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think. What are you taking home from this whole conversation? Let us know in the comment section. I believe Linda will also be following it in the comment section. Right, Linda? You'll help me answer the questions. Maybe
Yes.
in case someone has a question, you will answer. You'll help me reply the comments once we air it out, right?
Okay. Thank
So
you.
I really appreciate and
Yes.
thank you so much. We'll
Thank
see
you.
each other next time, right?
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.